Good morning. It's the 60 Seconds to Serenity with me, Gregg Hammond, on Tuesday, December 19, 2017. And I figured I'd start with a little costume and music and the tropical scene behind me. It's nice and bright and sunny out there. This 60 Seconds to Serenity, we're using the tools that we have to create the calm and serene mind and to keep that calm and serene mind, because it's a superpower to do so, because then you can respond to things going on in your day instead of reacting. When you respond, you stay in control. And this is the time of the year when it is so busy, so many things going on, invitations to go places, rushing around to get gifts if you're taking gifts somewhere. Usually is a little bit of pressure because it's like you have this deadline, which I think it's important to consider taking that deadline and erasing it, and realizing that the whole concept of sharing and peace, gifting, time together that happens around the end of the year, the holidays approach and arrive and then are gone, that same spirit, that same mindset you should have all year round. Using the 60 Seconds to Serenity, the breathing in and out with very focused, calm, and serene breath, and teaming that together with all of your affirmations, as we've talked about over the last few weeks here, totally take you into the super calm mind. And I put on a list today, a list of people and their authors, people who have influenced my life. I started a list, and I realized that as I started to list people, that was going to be a big job. I usually put 10 things onto my gratitude list, but as I go through and I'm thinking about people, how they've influenced me, how they've brightened my life and lifted me up, helped me with becoming the person that I've become all the way up to this point, I realize that list is going to be much longer, and I will fill a couple more pages of the 10 lines just to scratch the surface. And so for you in your 60 Seconds to Serenity, taking the time to think about people who've really influenced your life in a positive way. And as you do this, you know how your mind works. Other things will pop up, and you might think of somebody or some situation that potentially upset you, or really upset you, or something that you just feel like, I keep thinking about that. The idea of the 60 Seconds to Serenity is that as you work on this tool, the repetition of building this tool, the breathing, and teaming that together with all of the affirmations and the gratitude, that you start to increase your power to remove those things and to bypass that. And so if something pops up and you're like, you realize I'm now focused on something that I don't want to focus on, or going back through, the wheels are turning again and you're rewinding to that situation, you want to stop that, because that is going to bring your vibration all the way down low, and you don't want to be in that low vibration. You want to be in a high vibration and keep yourself up here. So you're thinking about the people that have really made it a fantastic impact for you. It can be a couple of people. You might have a go-to person, somebody that you love a lot and feel a passion for how they've influenced your life, and you keep that person there as you're doing your breathing. The idea is that we're teaming this series of using your higher faculties of thinking, and we're teaming that in with our breath, because we're doing the controlled breath, which is a little bit different than the way that we usually breathe, but it's something that we're doing all the time. You're always breathing. And so as you tie in the breath with the thinking, you're making it you're embedding this, you're making it a consistent and constant thing going on for you, right? Your mind and your thoughts paired with the breathing. And so as you're breathing through your day, this will, as we've teamed this in and tied this in, this becomes part of just how you go, right? And you start off with something small, and I'm going to give you an example, but I show you this, the Global Jam for Peace logo, right? This is the magnet, right? You start small, start with something, you know, fits in your hands. And I just mean, as you're doing this, right, you start with these exercises. We're just doing a little bit, and we are preparing the soil for 2018, when I'm going to launch into a lot of extra stuff. We've been doing non-dominant hand exercises, breathing, all of these things. It grows. It starts to expand, right? And so as things expand, you realize that there's good news. Your life just got a whole lot easier because you're using the 60 seconds to Serenity, which means you can respond to things going on in your day, which means that your day is smoother. And life can give you things that are challenging, and you have to move through that. And these tools are preparing you to be able to do that. And then things get bigger, right? We started with something smaller, and then they got a little bit bigger, and then a little bit bigger, right? And it's pretty funny how the camera is, I'm learning how to use a camera in reverse, and then things can get even bigger. That one's as big as my head. Anyway, can you get bigger than that? I don't know. Bigger than this giant. This is a pretty large decal sticker, right? To put on something. Anyway, people have asked me about, like, you know, this is the fitness of the mind and the fitness of the spirit, and do I focus on fitness of the body? And the answer is yes. I like to exercise, and I think about fitness. I think about fitting this whole bowl of Haagen-Dazs ice cream in my belly. Now, anybody who's seen some of my videos knows that I'm not gonna. This is not really ice cream. I'm not fitting this whole thing. When I say fitness, I mean I exercise, not fitting this into my belly, because it's not really ice cream. It's chocolate. But I'm not recommending you have that for breakfast either. And chocolate is something that has benefit if you're having the right kind of chocolate, but you should do some research on what is the best type of chocolate, so that you're not loading up with corn syrup and sugars and things like that. Anyway, yes, your health is a wealth. It's the greatest wealth, right? Because without your health, all the other things that you want to do are challenging to do or not possible. Keep smiling. Keep smiling, right? These Keep Smiling cards are available if you want to get some. They're free cards. You just have to pay the shipping. And there's also a way that you can make a contribution to charities, and you can choose. I recommend Unstoppable, because that's where the Global Jam for Peace is tying in as well. But the Unstoppable Foundation, I recommend them because of the amazing work that they've been doing for a long time. And you can get the Keep Smiling cards in different languages and get those shipped. There are ways to get those shipped for free as well. If you would like one of these Global Jam for Peace decals, these stickers, if you send me your address, I can get one of those in the mail. So with the 60 seconds to Serenity, we're working on the fitness of your mind and the fitness of your spirit, in the sense that you're becoming very powerful. You yourself are becoming very powerful in the way that you interact with your daily activities, the people that come into your life. I know that commuting to work can be challenging because so much is going on, and you have to be able to respond to those things going on and keep yourself in the right frame of mind. And so the 60 seconds to serenity is the idea is that you are creating this power, harnessing and building your superpower of the calm mind. And for the calm mind, the last chapter of the James Allen's As a Man Thinketh, that is a really good short book. But this chapter, called Serenity, is what we've started to write. You're writing that out with your dominant hand, writing out the entire chapter. It'll take you, if you are writing at an average size between the space of a couple pages, this regular lines space in standard notebook, it'll take you about two pages to write all that out. And that's all with your dominant hand. The non-dominant hand exercise, I was using that for all of the gratitude, and we were doing your name, the date, the temperature, sunrise, sunset, humidity, and wind direction, and keeping consistent on that, writing that out. I write out longer paragraphs when I do mine, and we're doing a 90-day stretch. I'm taking you through 60 seconds to serenity through the end of the year here, and once we have established tending to the soil and preparing the soil in our spiritual garden, in our mindset garden, we will move into adding some new stuff too. But remember, we must become the change that we want to see, right? And so by starting with yourself, you are actually doing that, because you become a better member of your community. And the good news is that your life just got a whole lot easier, right? I like that a lot, so I like to make sure that I post it and show you guys. So something about habits, right? We are creating and forming new habits here. Hopefully you've found yourself in the routine of getting up and writing out with your non-dominant hand and preparing yourself with doing your 60 seconds to serenity as a practice, and started to create this new habit, right? And just for you to check something out, you may notice that at times I put my hands together like this, right? I want you to, if you can, where you are sitting, if it is a safe thing for you to do, it's not going to interfere. You can do this later too if you want, but put your hands together like this and take a look. See if you can just guess which thumb is on the top, right? Is it the left or the right? And after you've taken a look, if it's the left, then you win a Global Jam for Peace magnet. If it is the right, then you win a Global Jam for Peace magnet. Either way, it's okay. But what I want you to do is observe which one is on top, right? And then I want you to take your hands apart, and I want you to shift them and put them like that. And so you've changed it, right? So now it's the other thumb on top. If you were able to do that, well, then you win the Global Jam for Peace magnet. Anyway, the thing that I want you to observe is it feels weird, right? When you put the other thumb on the other side there, it's like, whoa. And have you ever noticed that that's the way that you always do that? You always put your hands together the same way. We are so, such creatures of habit, so habitual about the way we do things. There are things that as we start to shift, we use the 60 seconds to serenity, and we start to shift through and discover these simple and somewhat invisible boundaries. We start to work through self-awareness, where we observe and discover things about ourselves and what we do. And by doing so, it allows us to become stronger and more powerful in our thinking process, our higher faculties, and our ability to respond and keep the calm mind. When you can do this, it opens up a very vast place for you to expand and become even better, which means as you are rolling into 2018, you're thinking about the goals that you're setting, you're thinking about the things that you want to change in your life. Maybe there's habits you want to remove. You're fully aware of, like, maybe you have a habit of smoking cigarettes, or a habit of eating donuts and pizza and things that you don't want to eat. Some people, that's what they want to eat. Some people would like to remove the habit of that, and you find that you're eating a third slice of pizza or a second bowl of something before you even realize that you're almost finished with that, and you're like, wow, I didn't even realize I was having the second bowl. Or there's so many little things, and you probably can find that as you're doing the 60 seconds to Serenity, something like that will just float into your awareness, and you realize, oh, that's right, that's the thing that I would remove if I had the power. And the thing is you do have the power, but it's a practice. It's getting into the routine. It's using these tools, these types of tools that I'm sharing here in the 60 seconds to Serenity, that will empower you to be able to start to remove these things. Habits are hard to break, and with the right tools, you can do it. I have removed many habits that I did not want in my life, that I realized, wow, this I don't know. Some of them I was like, I don't even know how I started doing this, and when, and why it became so monumental, so big in my life that it is taking over. Anyway, so before I get totally carried away and take up all the morning, I'm gonna go look at guitar amps, because I need a really good guitar amp for in the studio, and I'm gonna go get that for myself, because today I am just turned 50, and I'm feeling pretty damn good for 50 years old. I mean, not that that's very old at all. Actually, it's pretty exciting that I made it this far. So if you have started to check out some of the things I've written, you know I've been through some pretty bumpy and challenging parts of my life, and so to make it this far is amazing, and to be doing this well is amazing. And I am living proof that you can overcome just about anything, and you can weed away bad habits and become healthy and become more focused and become successful at whatever you want to do. Many people go through life thinking that you have to follow a certain path, and that if you didn't have those particular things in order, that you don't have a chance. I personally have proved that wrong, and I've written about it. And so if you're interested in reading about some of that in small amounts before the big book comes out, the second edition of 88 Plus Ways Music Can Change Your Life has a ton of very cool stories in there about music. My story's in there about the Global Jam for Peace, and how I'm bringing the entire world together in a global symphony to using the universal language of music to unite the entire globe. This is a big vision, and it came to me many years ago, but I didn't understand it. But I learned how to understand what my purpose was and what I was supposed to be doing. And so part of the 60 Seconds to Serenity is I'm preparing the soil so that we can do this, so that you can harvest from your own mind, from inside yourself, what it is that you can do to change the world, or what it is you can do to improve your life, and how those things will weave together. And then the Keep Smiling is another one that I've done. This is the first. Keep Smiling with my name on it, because there's a couple other editions. This is the first of 4 books that I will do. The first one came out 2017, just recently, and then the next 3 will be in 2018, and then beyond that, I'll have others. Anyway, I'm going to hop off of here. I've got a very busy day. Thank you very much for tuning in. Share this with anybody. This is my gift, giving back, saying thank you to everyone who gets on here and shares this with other people to help them improve their lives and create a better world for all of us by laying this groundwork and preparing for more in 2018 beyond this very basic, simple thing. I love you guys. Peace, love, music, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, if I can figure out how to shut this off. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I'd do that, but I don't want the advertising to come up. That's an advertising thing that's on there. So check it out. Hey, really, the behind the scenes look at my very serene surroundings, right? Is that, hey, it's really in the Global Jam for Peace studio in the Guitar Castle in Washington, D.C. And I'm very grateful that I have the Guitar Castle and that I get to do this broadcast, that I have equipment to do that. And the other thing I'm grateful for is that I might be able to figure out how to finish. Oh, there it is. Okay. Peace, love, music. I figured it out. I figured out how to get this to shut off. This is the first day that was so tricky to figure out. But I love you guys. See you tomorrow.